two things that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka should actually do. The first is to delegate duties so that he can stop doing press conferences in Karen, jumping from one hotel to the other, and go and hit the campaign trail. That is number one. Secondly, when it comes to the election, or rather on the way to win any seat, you have to go and speak to the people in ground. Kalonzo Musyoka have mastered the art of attracting attention of the media at the expense of going down to go and campaign. In this video, I want to look at the first Azimio la Umoja rally in Nakuru after they both Jubilee and ODM NDC amidst these links that Kalonzo Musyoka is dilly-dallying. I was looking at that rally critically because I wanted to see on whether this Kalonzo Musyoka's dilemma or Kalonzo Musyoka's saga is going to punch Raila Odinga's campaigns, or how the Azimio team are moving on amidst that talk. The reason why I said that this needs to be done, I think today they made a press conference, Kalonzo, Martha Karua, Gideon Moi and Girongo, and they seem to be talking about the paperwork a lot. It's time to leave the papers to the technocrats so that they go and hit campaign mode. Campaign. If they are joining Azimio, let it be. If they're not joining, let them go and campaign as One Kenya Alliance. But that was just straight to their eyes. So how was Azimio la Umoja rally in Nakuru? There are two incidences that we are going to also to capture here. One is an incident where Raila Odinga was, I think some fellas were planted, some youths were planted to heckle him. We are going to look at that video. And then we are also looking at the pressure on Lee Kinyanjui to leave that Ubuntu party and join Jubilee. And of course, he joined that rally. He was the host of that rally. And I had analyzed here that I was really skeptical whether he was committed on Azimio la Umoja. Now, that my worry, that my doubt is actually vindicated. But then he's there. So for people who maybe had followed, what really happened there? We want to look at some few observations in relation to the Azimio la Umoja Brigade. But before we look at that, guys, as the birthday boy continues to say, kindly, the best gift is just confirm your subscription. If you can reach 10,000 by the first week of March, I think I'll be the happiest of all because we do this for you. So I want us to understand the pretext of this rally, why this rally was politically significant. One, it was coming at a time after Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee Party have publicly endorsed Raila Odinga. So how was that going to be received on ground? Two, it was also coming at a time where Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka are having a conversation in terms of who to support who. That was going on. Then three, Lee Kinyanjui has been an absentee in Azimio la Umoja rallies. So of course, after Nakuru, they're heading to Nyamira and Kisii, then they will go to Bungoma. They're also heading to Wajir, if I'm not wrong. And it will culminate on a rally in Nairobi the next Saturday, where according to Raila, that's when they're going to unveil the presidential candidate and the running mate. So that is really, in short brief, what exactly happened. Now, my first observation there is Raila Odinga joined the Sky team because when he was away in India, there was a campaign team that was being led by Joho, Junet, Ledama, and Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega. Then that team was really pulling ground and was promising. So if you look at the Azimio Nakuru rally, largely he seemed to have worked with that team. Because there were the other factions of the DAPK team that was led by Eugene Wamalwa. There is the other team of Oparanya, but Oparanya was missing in today's rally. I did not see him. You can challenge me. Maybe Mimi will watch maybe after he had left, but I did not see him there. First observation, Raila Odinga is putting Charity Ngilu in the fulcrum waiting for Kalonzo's decision. In that rally, I think amongst the leaders that we saw there, from Machakos, from the larger Ukambani region, Charity Ngilu is really being given the role. And he actually mentioned that the 3 Ukambani counties are going to support Raila, and directly imploring on Kalonzo Musyoka to avoid sitting at the fence and join Azimio la Umoja. Now, in my own understanding, I think in the event that Kalonzo Musyoka will not join Azimio la Umoja, then Raila Odinga is actually working on including Charity Ngilu as one of the principals in Azimio la Umoja if Kalonzo Musyoka is not given that chance. So I think that is strategically being worked on, and that is why she was actually playing a very critical role in that Azimio. Secondly, I think she will be there even if Kalonzo Musyoka will be there, because they also want to play the gender balance card. So I think in Azimio, she's the most formidable female politician that is around Raila Amolo Odinga. The other observation is the other parties that signed the pact with Jubilee were conspicuously still missing. I did not see Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi, who signed with Jubilee. I did not see Lonyangapuo. I think they have still not yet boarded. Jubilee was well represented by Kanini Kega and the other team and the other hosts from Nakuru. But the other small parties that joined were not still there. I want to believe that was very strategic to still show that there is still time for them. They have not yet formally unveiled the Azimio la Umoja. So the day they will involve, I think the day they will join, it will now bolster the campaigns and the image will now be bigger. And I also feel like they're still sitting at the fence, also weighing on Kalonzo's move. And when he finally joins, then it's going to rejuvenate, revamp the Azimio la Umoja. Then that will actually come out very strong. Another aspect is the branding. Now, I was keen on branding for one thing. One, Raila, Kalonzo Musyoka had proposed a coalition of coalitions, where Azimio is a coalition, Jubilee Party is a coalition, and Oka is a coalition. So according to Kalonzo, actually Oka is going to join Azimio, then it will be an Azimio Oka. So the branding strategically was done, because if you look at the cap that Raila was putting on, that cap was just written Azimio. Then I will play for you a video by, I think, some leaders of Jubilee who are putting on Jubilee caps, but they are written Jubilee Azimio. I also propose that ODM should not subdue their visibility in Azimio. They should actually have some fellas putting on the ODM caps, but then with Rao and maybe an Azimio branding there. So the branding is there, and it was done to send a message to Kalonzo Musyoka that the name of the coalition will remain Azimio. If Raila Odinga was actually buying, and the Azimio team was buying on Azimio Oka deal, then you would have seen them starting to slow down and actually not doing Azimio as a branding, but then maybe just doing the one with the Rao, but not put on the Azimio, the one that is straight Azimio, because then there was open for Azimio Oka. And that was strategically done to send a message to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka that the name of the coalition must and will remain Azimio. Other observation that is there is Oka skipping that meeting. If you listen to Raila Odinga's speech there, he was specific that that is an Azimio meeting and it is going to culminate on naming the presidential candidate. Now, someone would expect that even a member of KANU or NAC or WIPA would attend the meeting. And people were asking, we're actually waiting, because It was coming after the weekend rally that was supposed to be held by the Oka, Raila, and Uhuru team flopped. So were they going to attend? And the point here is, the reason why that is very strategic is that when they join, they will be playing catch up. Jubilee and ODM are already boarding. So when Oka comes, they will actually come second fiddle. And that is why strategically, I think it is time to leave the paperwork so that Kalonzo Musyoka makes up his mind and now join Raila Odinga in those rallies. Now, let's look at these two instances, and I want us to finish with one. The moment Raila was heckled, what does it mean? What exactly happened? Then the pressure on Lee Kinyanjui to join Jubilee. After an Azimio La Umoja convention in Molo, the convoy was moving to where they were going to hold that rally. So somewhere in the middle, I want you to look at this video because there were these fellas there who are now chanting Ruto, Ruto, Ruto. Listen to that. Critical analysis or observation in that video, you will see that the people who are heckling are on the other side of the road, and it is not a rally. It's not Raila. Actually, the convoy is just passing, so Raila have not sprouted, and it cannot be that they're doing it because they didn't want to see Raila. So the other one was they were chanting Ruto, Ruto. Now, what should worry the Jubilee team is that if you look at, there is someone there who was putting on Jubilee jacket and I think Jubilee cap. Actually, along the road, the people who were putting on those jackets were Jubilee. Were putting on the Jubilee merchandise. But then they were chanting Ruto, Ruto, Ruto. In my own observation, it is not about them opposing Raila or rejecting Raila, but it looks like they are not buying the Jubilee agenda in Nakuru. In fact, I think Jubilee is trying to sink in, but Azimio will be more better and more receptive than the Jubilee party. If you look at that video, one of the probabilities that is bringing such hostility, it might be a protest against Lee Kinyanjui, because Lee Kinyanjui was actually blamed recently by Susan Kihika that he brought down her billboards that were actually erected in Nakuru. So that could also play the local politics. Now, secondly, let's look at the second video. This video, there is leaders in Jubilee who are actually welcoming members, but then they implored on Lee Kinyanjui to ditch the Ubuntu party. Listen to that here.
Na hata tunataka kuambia gavana wetu Lee Kinyanjui aachane na hii mambo ya Ubuntu, kwa vile tunamwambia ukweli. Tunataka yeye arudi katika chama chetu cha Jubilee, tufanye kazi kwa pamoja. Kwa vile kama sisi ndio MCAs ambao tuko sitting, na yeye bado ni the sitting governor, na anaelekea mwelekeo mwingine, tunaona yenyewe hapo haikuendi vizuri. Jubilee, mbele pamoja. Jubilee, mbele pamoja. Gilgil, mbele pamoja.
I think that Ubuntu party that belongs to Lee Kinyanjui, that is the party that he wants to use to seek the governor's seat. But I don't know why it's becoming a problem, because Dr. Stanley Karanja, who is also eyeing the same seat, I did not see him in the Azimio La Umoja rally. He is actually the person, Lee Kinyanjui is the person that is in Azimio. So that the fact that he has not joined Jubilee with that party puts his participation in Azimio in question. And that is why I am looking forward to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Is he still going to work with the other leaders? And as of that culmination rally in Jacaranda next Saturday, shall he have really made the decision to join the Azimio La Umoja? Or I think if he's going to join, he wants to join Azimio as Ubuntu. But can he use the Ubuntu to defend his seat as Nakuru governor? That is the question that everyone else is asking. But all in all, if you look at the Nakuru rally, I think if you look at it, it was a big success because